It's going to be hard to get you to talk ahead of time.
What do you mean?
A lot of times we try to trick the guest into talking, and then I go into the show.
Right.
But you know how it works.
Of course I do.
And welcome to the podcast. Today is June 14th, 2022.
Is it the 14th? It's the 3rd. Oh, right. Sorry.
Cut the cameras.
Literally
Sorry.
As soon as you were like, you know how this pod works.
Okay, it's the 14th.
Good job, Jess.
Thanks, sorry. Movie magic.
Today is June 14th, 2022. It's Everything But the Scores with Danny Jollis. My name is Danny Jollis. I haven't been saying what the show is up top, and I do think that's been a mistake I've been making. We talk about everything off the field in sports. If you've watched sports a ton, this is all the stories they don't talk about as much. If you've never watched sports before, you'll be able to follow everything. I haven't done that as much. Subscribe, rate, comment, tell a friend. I guess we should do a little bit of a brag before we start. The YouTube has crossed 10K subscribers. Come on.
Yay.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
No, it's all your hard work.
Is it due to the podcast? Is it due to the shorts? Who's to say?
Who's
Probably the
to
shorts.
say?
But the podcast is helping. No, we're really pumped about it. So for those of you who watch this, thank you. Those of you who listen, get in on the watching, but also do the listen. Do whatever. Just tell a friend. That's all I ask. And leave a comment and do stuff like that. We trended in Thailand for a hot second.
No way.
That's true.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
We trended as like one of their like top something podcasts. I don't know. It's also from a thing that just sends me these notifications, and I'm like,
I don't know.
I don't know what we're doing.
I
It
think
feels
it's
like
they're sending it to you.
Yeah, it feels like
every
it-
once in a while they're probably like, throw
Give
one
him-
in for him.
Well, that's the kind of spirit we want, Jess. That's the kind of confidence we want to have. Maybe it's possible. Joining me as always, producer, comedian, co-host. No comp for everybody.
Hello, hello. Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy. And then joining us today, a very special guest, the most frequent guest of the podcast.
Damn right.
During COVID times, she became the permanent guest before I eventually gave up on the entire thing as I couldn't do it anymore. But she is someone who works in TV development. She's also my current fiance, future wife, as of in 5 days. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Sonnenfeld.
Thank you, Danny. Wait. What do I usually say?
Oh, my
wait,
gosh.
wait.
Fans of the pod know Jess had
yeah.
a stupid phrase.
Hello, Danny, and thank you for having me in my own home.
There it is. And wasn't that worth it? How you doing, Jess?
I'm good. How are you?
I see you this
It was,
morning.
you know what got me was that I was fairly certain you were reading off the page who I was.
Well, I was trying to remember, because I tried to write down, like, how to do your intro in a way that made it sweet.
Oh,
I thought current fiance, future wife was a very cute way to put it.
sure. I just thought it was fun because I felt like you were
like the
reading what
effort
I
I
do
put into
for a
this,
living,
it's-
all sorts of stuff,
No, I know. I was just trying to build a little tension, a little excitement.
Sure.
Who's the guest? Sometimes we
is
have a guest,
she?
sometimes we don't. We've never not had a guest. But this upcoming week we might have to.
I
Well,
could
we
come
have to talk
back.
about it. Due to the wedding.
I could come back.
I feel like 2 in a row is enough. Too much.
All right.
But let's see how you do this episode.
I did 2 in a row, like a
You
lot
did 75 in a
before.
row during the pandemic. Jess, did you play any sports growing up?
I played track, and it's funny you mention it, Danny, because behind you are my medals for the half marathon and the marathon that I ran this year.
This is true. Jess ran a half marathon out of nowhere.
Literally out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere was just like, think about running a half marathon because Disney has a half marathon. And I was like, never seen you run a day before.
That's not quite true. I definitely had run before, but not like distances.
I mean.
Or consistently.
Never. And out of nowhere. Half marathon, then did a full marathon. Well,
It was really the full marathon that came out of nowhere because the half marathon was like, okay, once I decided to do it,
yeah.
and I take big swings, I really trained, and that was good. And then when I finished that in February, I was like, well, fuck it. Let's do the marathon in March. And I did.
It was crazy.
I know.
I was in the throes of COVID while you were doing it.
I know. I was like, if you give me COVID the week of this fucking marathon, I swear.
And that's the attitude I had when I was battling COVID. Battling
But I was
for
I've
my
been training.
life.
You were fine.
For my life / it was a cold, but it was
Not that it isn't a very serious disease, but you were fine.
vaccinated and boosted.
Yeah.
Be vaccinated and boosted.
All the above.
I think it's very important that people say if you're vaccinated.
But you know what was sad? You know what was really sad?
Mm.
Who came out to support me?
Did anybody? Nobody.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, was there? I was trapped.
Nobody.
I picked you
No
up.
one.
I first off, I brought you there in the morning in the throes of COVID.
Okay.
Pick her up. I bring her there. Bring her to the wrong place. Remember? I had to
Yeah.
go back around.
Yeah.
I did my own
You
marathon.
thought you had to come all the way back to like to the valley to pick up the 405, and I was like, no, you can pick it up. Like,
You mean after you sent me to the wrong place?
well, yes, I know, but then otherwise, once I realized that we had to get there off the 405, you were like, we're on the 101. We have to go all the way back to the valley. I was like, no, we definitely don't need to go all the way back to the valley. I think we picked it up in like.
I drive you there. I then track you the whole time.
Yes.
Took a bunch of photos of when you were going by stores that I knew you liked
Yeah.
because I thought that was fun. Then I come in my car, can't leave my car because I have active COVID, and I swoop you and pick you up from the marathon. Not easy to do.
It was not easy, but I had to. Oh,
Don't know if
my
anybody's ever tried to pick
God.
somebody up from marathon, but the way that a marathon works is they shut down every road.
Yeah, which is so funny. It's like, oh my God, every year in Los Angeles, I'm like, this is the worst day ever. Like, I hate that they shut it down. Then when I was running it, I gotta say, I was like, this is the bomb.
It
was so nice. You just like have the free streets, and then they hand you like water on the way, oranges. Some people just stand out there like with different, like, they don't even have to be there. It's so cute.
is weird to me that people do that.
Yeah.
That's a weird person, I think.
So well, it's a lot of like kids. It's like it's like a lemonade stand type deal. You don't have to pay for it. You're running a marathon.
You ever
You've
tried
put
to
in
run a
your
marathon?
work.
I did in high school.
Did you really?
You really did?
Yeah, but like a little. It was like so they did this thing where it was like it's called Relay for Life. It's like for
Oh, yeah,
cancer
yeah,
awareness, and so we do relays for that. And I did it in a dress because they were doing like a drag thing, and you get donations and stuff. So
You did a full, so many things.
not a full marathon. It was
How
just,
long
like,
did you
laps. It was like well, so another time I did like a half marathon, but
Okay.
that was like other people were doing like a full marathon, like, and I did like a couple laps for like moral support. It was like a drama that I did for drama class.
Wow.
Yeah.
In
I
a
never
dress.
did anything for moral
Yeah.
support.
Might I say I didn't wear the dress beforehand, and I should have because it was quite short.
Oh, yeah. I have to say, like, it's very important to wear your outfit prior to the day because, like, Holly and I, my friend who did the the half marathon, the Disney one, we, like, wanted to dress up in, like, some, like, princessy stuff, like t-shirts or whatever. And I didn't try out my tank top. It was just a tank top, but it was, like, cotton, which I never run in, just, like, plain cotton. And it was so painful. Like, it was like the chafe on my arm. I was like, so then I really learned my lesson for the marathon, and I wore things that I've always worn and tested out, and it was very effective.
You did great. Made it through. And I picked her up. Brutal.
But they don't tell you that, like, when you finish the marathon, there's like another mile to walk to get out of the whole area. And it was the most painful walk of my life.
I remember I was talking to you on the phone during.
I know. I was like, oh,
Have you done one?
No.
no.
No, hard pass. I don't think it's healthy to do to your body. But with that,
For like a one-time thing.
with that said, seeing you do it, I will say that there is a part of me that might try to do it next year just
Oh,
because it was so like
wow.
cool. It was cool seeing her do it.
Yeah.
And it seemed you made it very attainable. I don't love what happened to you afterwards.
Like, if Jess can do it, anybody can do it. Yes, I know.
I mean, you made your growth was large. You made some real growth.
But I've done things like that in the past. Like, I've done big swings in the athletic world before.
Well, coming from doing track before too, right? Like
I
I'm
also really
But we're throwing around
backpacked.
track very loosely.
Yeah, track was really to get in shape for the summer program that I did,
Okay.
which was backpacking. And so, like, backpacking and mountain climbing. So I did those kinds of things,
Yes, you did. You did backpacking, mountain climbing, you did stuff like that.
but not in like 10 years.
Either way, you did it. And I picked you up. Do you watch any sports currently, Jess?
Only if you are.
That's right.
But no, it's only if he like has them on, and I
That still
can't.
sounded very sweet.
It sounds sweet. It sounds sweet. It's more forced than anything else. But she's.
Walking into the living room being like, I guess this is what's on.
No, for real.
But I feel like I will say it's been interesting watching you both simultaneously. I think when we first started dating, you were like, I'm going to learn sports.
Yes,
I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because I did not grow up in a sports heavy household.
So you really came out of the gates and you were like, I want to learn. Teach me. Then there came a point where you vehemently went the opposite direction, and you were like, don't even attempt to tell me a thing about what's going on here. I could care less. I feel like now, accidentally, you've started to realize that you now are starting to know more than you thought you knew, and you're starting to appreciate things without me even really having to tell you about it. Like, you're spotting things. Like, you'll come in and like say players. I'm like, it's coming in your brain.
Yes, I've learned via osmosis. But the thing is, I think the thing about me, like, I was like really excited to learn, and then I really felt like I came to my own decision of like, oh, I don't like this, and that's fine. You know, I gave it a fair shot, and it's not even true. I mean, I obviously, as I think I've spoken about before, really have issues with football, but I like baseball. I've always liked hockey. My brothers played hockey, so that was fun. And then where I went to college, it was like, for a D3 school, it was exciting.
It's also my only team that's remotely good usually. So it is the one that's the most fun to watch with me.
Hockey?
Yeah.
Well, the Nationals are okay sometimes. That one time they were the best in the world, and it was the best time of my life. That was very exciting.
They're currently an absolute
But I don't like
shit
basketball.
show.
And I think that's really polarizing because I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, basketball is easy," but I'm like, you don't need to watch basketball for the whole game until literally the last 2 minutes.
Wrong, but
I know, but like honestly though, everything changes in the last 2 minutes. Like they could be up like 15 points, and all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, boom.
Just
3 minutes.
2 points count as 2 points, whether it's in the first minute or the last minute. That's something coaches used to tell me all the time.
Yeah, but not really.
Coaches used to say all the time,
Because
hey, a point right now.
High scoring
that's
game.
where same thing with baseball. They always say, hey, a win in April, same as a win in September.
Well, that's different. But basketball, they like are not. I feel like they don't like really pull it out until the last 5 minutes.
They're pulling it out.
Only if they're really behind.
I'll tell you what changes is the crowd. The crowd is more and more fired up throughout the game, so it feels like shots are bigger, things are bigger. They're playing hard the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even playing, I've tried playing pickup basketball. Like, even me casually playing the first few minutes, I am dying. So that the sheer athleticism just to do that for that long.
The athleticism, I totally agree. But it's like the integrity of the game. Like, it doesn't become a real competition or like, whoever's up could like really be the one who loses in like 5 seconds at the end. Now, I will say though, Danny, what's the one thing that I like? And please say my claim to fame that really got you stuck in our relationship. March Madness.
Oh.
I love March Madness.
The first year I dated Jess.
This is like 1,000% true.
She was like, I will do it. She's like, oh, I'll make a bracket. And Jess had a perfect first day, which is unheard of.
Like, I didn't realize how
Jess had no clue. Jess was like, I guess I got him right. And I was like, nobody gets it right. Nobody's alive after the first day. It's impossible to do. It was blown. It was
full first day.
Full first day,
right.
correct. 100% correct.
And just like that, Danny was like, I gotta marry this girl. And I tricked him good.
You really did, Jess. You tricked me real good. Yeah. Golly, we could talk about our relationship all day. How much you mean to me. How much I mean to you.
Sweet.
But that's not what the podcast is about. It's about sports. Hit the theme song. Let's go.
You're a #1 fan, so you know the stats. Heard all the pundits talking, so you know enough of that. Maybe it's time to hear some crazy folks chat about all the other stuff that's behind the net. But maybe you don't care about playing ball, and you want to hear the gossip whether big or small. Maybe it's time to hear some funny folks talk about what goes on when the batter don't walk. Maybe you'd like to hear a little more. Maybe you don't even care about sports. Either way, go on and buckle up your shorts. Cause this is everything but the scores with Danny Jollis. Yeah, doggity.
So you actually stop it for like breaks?
Yes, Jess, and we
You
just
could cut this. You could cut this out.
No, I like to see the dysfunction. I like to keep the dysfunction a little bit. We've started getting into that a little bit behind the scenes. I think with the cameras here, it's like let's show people what it's really like.
Yeah,
in the
okay.
room.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back. Beautiful theme song by Zachary Weber.
Oh, I do really like
I have to
this
ask
song.
Carly to write the theme song. She never did, but our last guest,
Who?
2 guests ago, Carly Craig, said that she was going to write a new theme song, and she hasn't.
Well, I really like Zach's.
I love Zach's too, but sometimes you got to mix it up a little bit. It's also open to anybody. Artwork we're open to. Anything. We
I
like
love
to,
the original
like to mix it
stuff.
up. Jess,
Marty and Zach.
our first story comes from the world of basketball.
Huh.
If you don't know sports, you need to know nothing for this one.
Good.
Except that Steph Curry, one of the best basketball players in the world. And last Friday, he had one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. 43 points. Harper can't have it.
Damn.
43 points. Legendary performance. But the story is what happened off the court. There is relationship drama.
No.
And it's not with Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry, who
Oh,
I know you.
yes.
Oh,
Okay. Phew.
The tension was high. No, they seem to be doing quite well.
Good. They're my favorite sports team.
Yeah. Last year, Steph Curry's mom and dad got a divorce.
Okay.
Tragic.
happens,
not tragic.
Danny.
Happens.
It
Happens. It was a little bit of a public divorce. The documents came out, accused each other of cheating. The thing. Specifically, it was accused that Steph's mom, Sonia, cheated on him with this guy by the name of Steven Johnson, who is a former...
Wait, the way you just said it was like Steve's mom cheated on him, which makes it sound like he cheated on Steven. Steph. Right? It's Steven with the PH, though.
She cheated on Del Curry,
Got
his
it,
father,
got
who was
it.
also, by the way, a great basketball player.
think I knew
This
that.
is one of the royal families of basketball.
Yeah.
The fact that 2 of them are in the league. Anytime you got 2,
What do you mean two? The dad. Not at the same time. There's not another one.
there is
Who?
Seth Curry.
Stop.
I swear,
Is it a brother? Is it a sibling?
it's a brother.
Where is he?
Also in the league, correct?
Also in the league and at Brooklyn right now. Good player, very good player. Just
okay,
not
but it
Steph
must
Curry.
sucks to be him.
You know, it really sucked out of the gates. I think he was really judged by the fact that he wasn't Steph. Now he's like a legit.
But also
good
to have
player.
like Seth Curry, I mean, you sound off brand.
Oh, sure. Listen, we've yelled about this on the podcast before, and I'll yell about it again.
Okay.
Carly and Carlton, twins at my high school. I'll never get over the naming. You can't do it to kids. You got to separate those names.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
My nieces have different last names. Same parents. Different last names.
what?
Elsie is Bierman.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then Cora
Wild.
is Sonnenfeld, and I don't remember
What they're doing
what
with
the last one is, what Isla is.
They're just going to go with Jollis just to mix it up. just chuck it.
Perhaps,
It's-
perhaps.
It's fair for everyone.
I
If
will
it-
be taking your last name.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna tack it on though. But like, I will. For real life, I'm just gonna go by Jess Jollis. But then for like professional, I know fun. Except for the fact that his sister's name is Jessie Jollis.
It's true. Competition in the world.
So there's the Steph.
Yes.
That's true. But this one's
Horrible. This is
Either
not
way,
on purpose.
2 kids play in the league.
Okay.
This dad played in the league.
Professionally, it's gonna be
They
Jess
get a
Sonnenfeld
divorce.
Jollis.
So Steph's mother cheated on Dell. The rumor is with this guy named Steven Johnson, former player for the New England Patriots. So.
Former
last-
player, like how old? Like recently or not
No,
so
they're
recently?
older. These are older guys. They're all older. He's now like a real estate guy in Virginia who makes $1 bazillion.
Okay, good for him.
So, last night at Game 4, or whenever Game 4 was, Steph's mom showed up to the game to support her son with Steven Johnson. Still together.
Okay.
Also showing up to the game was Del Curry, Steph's father,
Okay.
with a young lady named Nikki Smith. And what makes her interesting is that she is the former wife of Steven Johnson.
Stop it!
It is a full-on partner swap that has occurred.
Wow.
The internet's losing their mind. It is one of them. Everybody's. I'm still. would you believe a lot of major publications aren't reporting on this? So I've had to go off like New York Post and stuff, but they're pretty confident that this is what happened. It is a full-on swap.
You think they actively chose to swap?
No, I think that there was cheating between, from what I read online, and to be clear, I'm going off New York Post-esque type sites.
Yeah.
But that's the only people that are going to report on this, and I'm like, this is what the podcast is made for. I mean, this is what we do here. I mean, you can't hand me this is a layup. It seems like she cheated with Steven. I assume that, as many people do, trauma brings people together. I assume Dell and the wife came together to be like...
Was he married? Wait, time out. Was Steven married? Time out, get it? It's like a sports
Really good. Really
Okay.
good reference.
Okay. That's only because I say that truly in real life, and I realized it is a sports reference.
It is.
Okay, were Steven and Nikki divorced?
Yes.
When?
Oh.
Okay. Or did were they both married when Steven and what was her name? His mom got together. Were both couples married, or was Steven and Nikki divorced?
It sounds like they were both married and both very good friends. Like this, like two couples that were friends. That then this whole thing. I mean, nobody fully knows, and I don't think we're gonna get a full answer from them, given the fact that it's. But it is.
I know, but I'm so curious, like
how it happened, why it happened.
No, I'm not curious how it happened, but I'm curious about like if they were all married. Like it feels like somebody must like. I mean, like this is a quick Wikipedia, but.
What do you mean? Just were Steven and Sonia married? They were formerly married.
No. Yeah, but like at the time of the cheating.
Well, we don't know the exact date of the cheating. We think so.
Oh, sure. Okay, fine.
But we don't know the date of the cheating. We don't know unfortunately, we don't have that kind of sleuth work.
No,
this
I know,
isn't
but
Robert
like
Pattinson,
when...
Kristen Stewart caught them in the car. What a moment in time that was.
Yeah.
Do you remember that incredible invasion of privacy?
It wasn't a caught in the car. What do you mean?
Weren't they caught in a car making out or...
Yes. Essentially,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Yes.
Okay, but she was also caught cheating in front of a car with
Making
a
out in the-
director.
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
it
was
was.
a
She was
That's
making out
what
in
it
the car.
was.
Yes.
But I mean, those two poor things. Ever since Twilight came out, they were just beaten to the ground by the media.
Oh, it's
and
brutal.
everybody.
I mean, they're doing quite well, but... Brutal.
What a series, though. Woo! I read that in high school. What a time.
So the
It
first
was.
movie in theaters.
All the rage. Yeah.
Watched none of it, never read it.
Okay.
Too much of a
Too
cool
cool.
dude.
Too cool. You also would have been in like late college. No, you would have been in college.
So rude. So
Well, Noah would have been in like elementary
I was in
school.
high school, you clown.
And yes, I was in elementary.
Yes,
Yeah.
you see.
But I was in high school.
No, how were you in high school if I was in high school?
When did the first Twilight come out?
The first movie must like the book. It has to be the book because I read the
Oh, we're talking.
book.
Oh,
Well,
you're
if
talking
we're
about the
talking
books, sure.
I'm not alive.
Yeah, I mean
yes,
nobody's
you are.
Oh, fine. I'll find the book. Okay.
book.
Please find.
We're
yes,
going
I'm talking
off the
about the
book,
books.
you-
Yeah,
I'll find
I-
both. I'll find both.
Well, first
I
off, then the
read.
book, I'm definitely not in college. The book, I don't even know how old.
I think I was in high school.
When the book
I mean,
came
I
out,
read them in high school.
2005. I was alive.
2005. I'm in
Okay.
high school.
When the books came out.
Okay,
That's when the books came out.
That's when the first book came out.
Wow. All right.
Okay, so
movie-
yeah, I was in.
The first Twilight movie
Middle
came out in
school.
2008.
Okay.
Wait, what? There's no way.
That's fast. What? 3-year turnaround from that book coming out to the movie coming out?
But I feel like I was waiting for the books to come,
Yeah.
like the final series. Like,
I must have moved fast on it. Good on you, Hollywood.
I feel like
Hey.
I was reading in real time.
Hey, way
at
to
some
go,
point. Not in
Hollywood. Way to move
2005,
fast
I
on a
guess.
decision for once.
Let's see.
It's impressive.
I'm paying attention. Keep going.
I mean, everybody has their phones out right now. I'm the only person in this podcast right now who is focused on the podcast, which doesn't feel great.
No, I'm.
But I'll talk. Del and
This is
Sonia
literally my job.
switched partners. Everybody's very exciting. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but we are all excited about it. What are you learning about?
Twilight. When the books came out, so I read them in real time, but they came out earlier than when I started them, and then I caught up by the time that they were releasing the last ones.
It's like me with Harry Potter.
Okay.
I fought it for like $4. I was like, not me. I'm not reading it. Not doing this.
But it draws you in.
By the time book 7 came out, waiting in line.
Hunger Games. I was reading the Hunger Games too. That was a good time.
They had such a good
were
rollout for
fun.
Harry Potter. Nobody talks about that. They did a really good job of
talk
like
about it.
everybody got a book. Like when it came out, you ordered ahead of time, you just got a book. It wasn't like they didn't like video game it where it's like we're only gonna make 1,000. Good luck to you.
This is for nerds, though. They wait so long for these books.
How dare you? First off,
I mean, I'm just kidding. I mean, like everybody likes Harry Potter. Blah blah blah.
Harry Potter's not even nerdy. Yeah, it's
No,
like
I know.
the most popular. It's like when people are like, there's so many things. Like Star Wars is nerdy, and it's like one of the biggest franchises on the planet. I think it's out of nerddom at this point.
I think there are levels to that one. Anyway, back to sports.
Jess, partner swap.
That is really crazy. But also, I don't know, why not? I mean, they both must be I mean, if they seem like they're happier with each other's partners, that's interesting.
It could be working.
It could be.
They both were at the
But-
game. They both were at the game supporting their son. So clearly they're getting along well enough.
But were you saying that the divorce between Sonia and
Dell.
was litigious or no?
It was. I mean, just filing. There's
Oh.
a filing which I was referenced where it said. So it was. We know there was extramarital affairs.
I see.
Acts of illicit sexual misconduct.
Ooh, that sounds bad.
That sounds so intense.
I think it just means cheating, but it does sound heavy as all hell.
Yeah, it does.
We'll be right back with the next story. Oh, hey there. During this break in the action, I just wanted to throw out there that this is the perfect opportunity to write a comment or subscribe, or if you're listening, you can just give us a rating and whatever you want. Just this is the moment where during this break, since we don't have a Patreon or anything, this is the moment to do something like that. It'd mean a lot. All right, back to the action. And we begin our next story with one that I can't believe we're back to. I think maybe like a month and a half ago, I brought up a golf story. Jessica Michelle Singleton was sitting right over there and said, we're really going to talk about golf? And that's fair.
I second her.
Well, Jess, at the time, and I'm sure, I know as you an avid listener of the podcast, at the time there was rumors of this Saudi-backed live golf thing.
Live golf?
Live is what they call it. The LIV Tour, which is the first competitor to the PGA Tour ever. And they have money upon money upon money. And it was a Saudi-backed league. But it's also not great, some of the people behind it. And everybody was like, they're trying to get people. So then, a couple weeks later, we talked about Phil Mickelson. Because I was like, Phil Mickelson was this big golfer who then said, maybe I will go play in this thing. Then he was like, well, I guess they're scary and they kill people, which you can't admit and then still go play with them. So then he backed out. Last week on this podcast, I said Dustin Johnson officially flipped for how much money did they give him, Jess? $150 million to play in their...
It's more than I would have guessed.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's more money than, for reference, Tiger Woods has made his entire career in golf earnings. That doesn't include his sponsorships, where he's like a billionaire, but that is an insane amount of. That's with that he doesn't have to win one tournament. That's just for him to play in the game. $150 million, and it seemed like he would be the one big name they were going to get.
Okay.
But this week, the full. I mean, it's like undeniable. Golf drama is at an all-time high. It's awesome.
To call golf drama.
It is. They are. Live Golf Tournament had their first tournament, and right before it, a bunch of people turned. Phil Mickelson actually is going to play in the Live Golf Tournament, as is Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed. So many. I mean, these are former Masters winners, all playing in this Saudi-backed league. The PGA Tour. So they go, we're going to go play with them. PGA Tour immediately comes out and goes, we were suspending every player who plays in this thing. They're all suspended immediately. You don't play in the PGA Tour if you play in any of these things. They've all been suspended. It is still being fought about whether this counts as golf rankings. So there's a chance all these people just fall out of the rankings.
What does that mean?
So you're number 1 in the world, number 2 in the world, number 5 in the world, number 10 in the world. It's based on how well you do in golf tournaments.
Sure.
Based on your ranking, you get to compete in certain tournaments
Okay.
versus others. If you're competing in tournaments that aren't being recognized, it means you're just not competing, which means you'll fall out of that thing, which means you will continue to not be in things.
Now, why did they go through with it?
Money. The money is crazy. But it's an interesting, because it's like, on one hand, where does any of the money behind sports come from? It's usually not a good answer. It's not like the PGA Tour has the squeakiest history of all time. Augusta, where they host the Masters, started having women there like 2 minutes ago. I mean, it's like wild how shitty that place is. So it's like, is anybody great in this world? Does the PGA Tour really have anything to stand on to be like, how dare? It's like, you're not exactly perfect. But this is backed by a country that murders journalists regularly. And yet, people are flipping. So then this week, a bunch of them had to do a press conference where they were like, we're playing. Reporters obliterated these golfers.
I mean,
The best question was, somebody went, would you play in a golf tournament if Putin was behind it?
what was the answer?
Oh, it depends on what the money is, but I think
All of them, a bunch of them went with the strategy of, and it's the strategy I hate the most, which is, look, I'm just an athlete. And I'm like, oh, that's everything I fought against in this podcast.
stupid, yeah.
Everything I fight against in this podcast is athletes are dumb. They're not dumb. They're really smart. They're incredibly talented. And they all went,
Depends on the athlete.
sure. But a lot of them are really smart. Compartmentalized intelligence, but you listen to an NFL football player describe what's going on a play, and you're like, you're the smartest person I've ever met.
In a very particular
field. But they do have a lot of, it's just compartmentalized, and people tend to see that as,
Well, but then what you're saying, though, basically, is that they only have information and intelligence in this one very specific category, which is what would also inform these decisions.
That's what these guys said, which is basically
Right.
like, we're just golfers. Then one guy was like, that's speculation, which I thought was a funny answer, because it's like, but is it? It's a pretty fair comp to put out there. It was wild. Then they did their tournament.
When was the tournament?
This weekend. This weekend, PGA Tour and LIV both had tournaments.
Oh.
The highlight for the LIV tournament was somebody hit a golf ball and absolutely obliterated a dude in the head. Just like missed the fairway and like cartoonishly hit this dude, and he just like fell.
How's he doing now?
I don't know. I didn't check in. I'll tell you this. He got some money. So that's the tournament. If you're going to get hit by a golf ball, you want to be hit at the LIV tournament.
He better.
You can get, I bet that guy got 50.
Yeah, right. This would have been an interesting topic.
I'd say we're on the interesting topic. What do you mean?
This is still interesting, but that would have been, I'm curious what would have.
What would happen to him?
Well, I'm curious what happens like when somebody like actually gets hit by something or like gets hurt, on the sidelines or something. Like, what's
What's the protocol?
yeah.
So it happens every now and then. Baseball used to have it. Used to have it all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And then they finally put up nets on the side. But they used to just have line drives just go into the crowd at 100 miles per hour and just obliterate some old woman every month.
I should laugh at it.
It kept happening. It was like one of these things where like the second they put up the net, it was like, why didn't we do this decades ago? It's
For
crazy.
sure.
I feel like it still happens in tennis. I feel like I just saw a video recently of someone someone got hit by a tennis ball.
When you get hurt at a football or any athletic event, you are rushed off and you are brought to the medical team that does the players. So you basically go into some would say like better doctors than a hospital immediately look at you. These are very good doctors, specialized.
Yeah.
But these are very highly paid doctors. If you're a head doctor of a football team, you are paid.
Except for wasn't there that doctor who like kept denying somebody's like aneurysm or something?
It was a brain growth, and it was
Tumor. Yeah.
and it was a player for my beautiful
That's
Washington
right.
Commanders. And that player refused to play for our team, and they made him sit for a year. And now Trent Williams is a Pro Bowler. which is an all-star.
Okay.
I forgot my crowd. That's on me. He's an
Okay,
all-star.
but like,
Yes. So,
it's
yes.
not every,
That's fair. But either way, so you get rushed to very good health. You will almost immediately get like a free jersey, free tickets, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
wow.
Like, they
Worth
compensate
it.
you. They compensate you well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There was a clip. Ooh, we can put this. Maybe we'll put this one in the pod if we can. There's a clip of a guy getting hit with a golf ball. This was at the match, which was like Aaron Rodgers and
Okay.
Tom Brady versus this guy gets hit, and the guy next to him had the camera on, and he just goes like, he just does this like, oh wait, oh no,
Oh, wow, I got it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you really? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
he got nailed, and they rush him off. The live guy just falls right over, and then the guy kicks him. The guy next to him like gives him a little kick, I think to be like, are you okay? But it looks like he just kicks him while he's down. The live golf tournament's all over the map.
That's horrible.
But the players are at war with each other. So the winner of the PGA Tour event this weekend, Rory McIlroy, was like, well, we're the ones playing real golf.
I know that name. I feel like
The
just because, I don't know.
the president of the PGA Tour was interviewed during the final day of the competition. Was like, it's just I lost friends to 9/11. It's disrespectful. These players are doing that to anyone. Like brought 9/11 into it. I mean, they are throwing bombs at each other, Jess. In golf. When have you ever seen drama in golf?
I mean, Tiger Woods and Ellen Nordin or whatever. I mean, that was
wild.
come on.
One of the great chronicles of our time.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. The downfall of Tiger. And then the rebuild. Playing golf again.
I know.
Tiger Woods.
Always playing golf again. Everybody's like, he's never going to play again. He's never going to play again.
It is the 17th time we've said it. But I also said this time, I'm like, look, if anybody can do it, it's him. This time he legitimately, like, his leg is broken. He looks like an old man. But
But he's playing.
he's playing, and he's still just that good. But you see, like, every now and then he'll swing. It just looks like, oh. You can't hit it as far. It's tough. But he's good. Jess,
Yeah.
what happens next with these golfers? We don't know. Nobody knows what happens next. But they are in a massive fight. Deals are flying all over the place. People are yelling. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I don't really have much commentary on this one. It's just like, that's crazy. And it seems terrible. I mean, I don't feel like I know enough about it and all the politics of it to like really weigh in.
Cautious.
Yeah.
Respect that. It's not great for the pod, but I respect what you're doing.
Sorry. I mean, you chose a very specific, like...
That's what we do. We pick specific stories that have interesting angles.
No, not specific. No, I know, but like, I don't know how to... Like, I don't feel I don't feel prepared. I wish I had studied more.
Unfortunately, we don't do that here. We ambush you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the next story. During this break in the action, if you have a story idea, send it to me. You can email it to me. You can message me on Instagram. You can message me on Twitter. You can message me on all the ways to send it to me. Send me ideas. I'll shout you out. I like it. I don't know everything. Send me ideas. All right, back to the show. And we're back. Just let's see if this story gets you going.
Okay.
I think it will. It's a story about baseball. Mm-hmm. These are quick hits, by the way, so these are going to be 2 quick stories.
Okay.
But, feel free to weigh in hard.
I will.
The Los Angeles Angels are in a skid, losing a lot of games.
What does that mean?
Losing a lot of games.
Oh, sure.
Lost
Go ahead.
12 games in a row.
God. Ooh.
Tough.
How many games are there in a season?
So many. 165, I think,
Oh, all right. All
in
right.
baseball. But you don't want to lose 12 in a row. It's not good.
Sure. It's bad luck.
Just a win in April,
Yeah.
same as a win in September.
So I've heard.
So, 12 game skid. Their manager, Joe Madden is his name, great manager, said, we got to lighten it up. Got to figure out a way to get this team back to having fun, back to playing the baseball that we love. And so he did something pretty fun. He decided to give himself a mohawk. This is a 65-year-old man, gray hair.
Sounds like he just was looking for an excuse for a mohawk for a really long time and found one.
It does feel that way a
Arguably.
little bit. It does feel that
Yeah.
way. I've never dared get a mohawk.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I always thought it'd be cool to have like a fun haircut someday. That's like one of those things of like every now and then I audition for things and I'm like, ooh, I think I get to have like cool hair for this. Jess,
Like, what kind of cool hair?
I don't know, something cool.
Get like one side shaved.
Oh, I think I could look good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
think
I
could
mean,
rock
sure,
it.
Or like even
maybe.
dye it or something.
Well,
I mean,
okay, now we're cooking with gas.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, you
For a
do-
role,
Do you?
I would do it. Well, Joe went for it. He shaved his hair into a mohawk in order to make everyone laugh, lighten
And
up,
did they? Or
lighten
did
up the mood.
Did they laugh with him or at him?
Shortly after he got the haircut, he was fired.
Oh, no. Why? Oh, because his team was doing terribly.
Yes,
All right.
should have gotten that mohawk a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So he got a mohawk for no reason.
I mean, hair grows out.
Yeah, well, it's going to take a hot second.
Yeah.
I mean, a mohawk is.
Did he get like a legitimate mohawk, like truly shaved the
Let's
sides?
see if
or
you
is
can
it
find
like,
it. I don't actually know what it
faux
looked like.
pas?
It just was like this story. It was like, because I don't think he did a press conference to close because he was like,
He could have worn a hat.
I think a mohawk's hard to cover up, isn't it?
Not. I mean, if
I guess you play it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you were able to wear a hat before, you could wear a hat after a mohawk. It's like your hair hasn't grown taller. It just looks, relative to the rest.
Sure.
Of
So he could have worn a hat. He probably
Yeah.
did. I don't know.
Could've
Either
worn
way,
a
he's got a mohawk right now, and he's unemployed. Unemployed with a mohawk. Tough spot.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
It's a challenge. They also, that same team, a couple games later, were like, let's try walking up to Nickelback songs.
Oh boy, why would
They're
that
just
be
trying
helpful?
They're just trying to break. I think they're trying to have fun, so they're like, let's just try to like that is a real thing. It's like when you start. It's the same thing with like career stuff, with like my own stuff. It's like when I'm struggling on stage or something. Like sometimes I'll just do things on stage just like to break the pattern.
Remember that time you fell?
I did fall off the stage once. Jess
Woo!
never enjoyed anything more.
I laughed so hard.
I
And
do.
Everybody turned around and looked at me like I was a sociopath.
It did because it occurred to me
Yeah.
without giving anything away about my special. This is the first joke of now 2 jokes I will have where I go back to a whiteboard, but this was for the sex ed joke,
Oh.
and I was at a bar and it was on a stage,
Right.
But there was just a little gap,
Between the back and the
and
curtain.
I went to do my stupid whiteboard act out. Boom! Fell right through. Whole crowd gasped and just
It was only like
roared.
you didn't also you didn't fall. You like it's like you had the thing of like when you think there's another stair and there isn't, so you just are like whoa, like you know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
I mean, the platform was here. My foot went plump down here.
I know, but you didn't like actually fall.
Sure, I
It was
didn't actually
it
hit
was
my head.
shocking more than anything.
Sure.
So I don't feel bad about what I did.
Laughing. I mean, it threw off the crowd. The crowd was certainly concerned.
Yeah, they were really concerned.
Let's go.
Whoa, let's see. Okay, honestly, he could so put a hat on. And it's like not, I don't know.
Show the man. That's pretty fun. I mean, for that age, to
I mean,
go
it
with a
looks silly.
it looks silly.
It doesn't look like he cut it like that. It literally looks like he went like this with hair.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't,
No,
it's
that's
not as
cut.
extreme as I thought. Well, I think there's a back
Looks like a
angle, too.
faux
Okay,
hawk.
with the back angle, you can tell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, show Jess that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that doesn't look
Audience.
good.
Let's give the man his credit. He went for it for no
But
reason.
he could totally be wearing a hat.
Sure. He's gonna have to wear a hat for the next 4 months.
That's not so bad. Also, like, no, he'll probably, in 2 months, you could probably match out the hair. Like, you know what I mean?
Either way, Jess, it was embarrassing for poor Joe.
Sure. Yes, I absolutely. I'm sure.
A boxer tried to bite somebody's ear this past weekend.
I don't know.
Gross.
Hasn't happened in a while. It's
I was
fun.
gonna say, isn't that like a fairly common thing?
No.
Not common, but like, doesn't that like?
Tyson did it that one time to Evander Holyfield, and that's kind of the most
Oh.
one of the most infamous.
Right. Was it on purpose or by accident? And I mean, like, why is anybody biting on purpose, really? And who's biting by accident? So.
I believe in this fight, it was the guy was headbutting him a lot and like
Oh.
kind of cheating, and I think that he did it one too many times, and he just like he didn't do the full Tyson. Tyson actually like ripped off part of the ear. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life.
The Tyson one or this one?
The Tyson one. This one, almost you don't notice it, but like it kind of happened. But it was just kind of like because remember they can't like grab each other because they have boxing gloves on. So I think it was his way of being like, I'm fucking serious. Do not headbutt me again. But everybody was like, "Ooh, we haven't seen a bite. We haven't seen a bite since the Tyson. Since the Tyson bite. One of the greatest moments in all sports and most disgusting."
Just occurred to me that like isn't there like a chicken brand of like Tyson?
Yes.
That's funny.
That's very funny.
I'm just thinking about the fact that like so many of those guys like have cauliflower ear, and that's like so gross to me. So then like imagining to like bite.
Is that a deal breaker for you? Cauliflower?
Doesn't it go away eventually? You can like
Hard to get
have
rid
it
of.
drained,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you can get it drained, but it doesn't. You would have to get surgery to get it repaired. I've seen UFC fighters that have gotten their ears like repaired, but it never, it only gets worse
Because
as you get
boys in
older.
high school, like who were on the wrestling team, they'd have like sometimes, but it would go away.
I think there's probably a minimal
level.
amount you can have that can
Yeah,
go back. If you're a professional fighter, like professional MMA fighters, like their ears are just. And what a horrible name!
Why?
Nobody
It looks
talks-
like cauliflower, sort of. I mean, like obviously not. But
I mean,
like
it's just it just feels very disrespectful to the injury
vegetable.
and the vegetable to everybody. It feels like there should be a better medical name. It's a medical problem, and they just name it after a vegetable randomly.
Crunchy ears? No, that seems a little bit more.
Would you say
disrespectful.
crunchy?
Crunchy ears? Yeah.
Okay,
That's also food related. I wouldn't go that direction.
would be a good name for it. Puffy ears.
Ear
Please don't
puffs sounds like a
Dumbo.
cereal. Ear
That's,
puffs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good. What'd you call it, Jess?
I mean, I don't know, swollen ear.
Okay.
Well, just I don't know.
Speaking of,
Neither ear nor there, because it looks crazy.
UFC fighter
But
Paulo.
no, I don't think that would be a deal breaker for me to answer your question.
I was just curious.
Why would it be a deal breaker?
Some people find it disgusting.
I mean, it's not like it's like not nice, but it's like that's mean. It's like fine. Like it wouldn't be a deal breaker for
Okay,
me.
well, plenty of people, way less that they go hard stop on. Tell you all about my height.
Not me.
That's right, Jess.
What do I always say?
Oh yeah.
The
Hip
perfect
and
man is right at eye level. To all the ladies who won't date guys that are shorter.
That's right. I'm not shorter. We're the same height, but
No, you're shorter than other like
I'm the shorter.
Right,
I'm
right,
of
right.
the
Like-
shorter end of men.
right, and there are girls who like will not date guys who are under 6 feet, and I'm like, you're missing a whole slew of wonderful men. And yes, Danny, you are taller than I am by a small amount.
Small amount.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to lie, but
No.
but I am
Yeah.
proud of it. UFC fighter Paulo Costa tried to steal a vaccine card.
Why? I mean, is he anti-vax and he was just trying to like have okay.
He was trying
Tracks.
to, and got stopped, and then elbowed a
Where?
nurse.
Where was he trying to steal it?
This was in Brazil.
No, sorry, like at a pharmacy, at a clinic, like
He showed up to a vaccination station,
okay.
walked around for a few minutes before he said he'd already been vaccinated, and then when they asked for proof, he tried to steal one, and then he elbowed a nurse in the face.
That's terrible. But can you imagine somebody coming up to you on the street and being like, "Give me your Vax card. I need your Vax card right now." Like, and I'd be like, honestly, I don't carry it on me. I
There
have it on
was
my phone.
Antonio Brown, famed lunatic of the NFL, he had a fake vaccination card that he was using when he was in the NFL. So he was counted as one of the vaccinated players, and it was fake. The only reason he got caught because the NFL did not check. Just literally was like, oh, he's got the card. Like everybody's always thought since day one of like we're just doing a card. I was
Yeah.
like, this feels like we could potentially feels like I
know
could.
somebody who has one. I know somebody who has a fake card. I know.
Troublemaker.
It's interesting though because this friend has a very serious condition where they cannot get the vaccine. So this friend made a picture. Basically, she edited a picture of one because it was often harder than having a note all the time. And I was like, I don't condone it, but that's an interesting way about it. But then I did know something.
I know the friend you're talking about, and it is truly a situation of the 1 in a million person who is the doctor's you cannot get the vaccine. Mm-hmm. And it is a headache for her.
I mean,
it's annoying, but she's figuring her way out, and she does have the doctor. She does have the doctor note that says swear to God, this girl's actually telling you the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wait, we talked about the Discovery yesterday? The article that came out?
What are you talking about?
That people with food allergies are 50% less likely to get COVID. Okay, but we were just talking about COVID because I'm that person.
I know, Jess. We're all very happy for you.
Just don't give me a chickpea.
She'll die. She'll die if she gets a chickpea.
Or tree nuts or pitted fruits.
Antonio Brown showed up, and he had a fake vaccine card.
Right.
Nobody questioned it. He was just treated as one. And then he had, an at-home chef who he didn't pay. And the chef was like, "You're really not going to pay me?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." And then the chef was like, "He has a fake vaccine card."
Hang on.
And he got suspended.
How did the chef know he had a fake vaccine card?
Because, I don't know, probably because he was walking around the house talking about it. I mean,
Okay.
And he got suspended. He got in big trouble. Because he did what people thought Aaron Rodgers did. Aaron Rodgers got a lot of flack for being what about the players around him who didn't know who he put at risk?
Right.
And I very quietly was not here to condone what Aaron Rodgers did, but just, sometimes with sports, when it comes to just as factually, the players knew he never claimed to be vaccinated. He just didn't tell the press and got in a lot of trouble for it. But Tony Brown straight up lied. Fake vaccine card. They're running rampant.
Is he the crazy one?
Is Tony Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony Brown's going through a lot of mental health stuff.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, I wouldn't call somebody who's going through a lot of mental health stuff crazy.
Well, I would go. He is a very unlikable version of mental health problems at the moment.
Okay.
He is really.
But not what I intended to say. He's the one who's switched. He's been on a ton of teams.
Yes, he keeps getting kicked off teams every 5 seconds. The last team he was on, he walked off in the middle of the game.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
He's clearly going through some stuff. Mm-hmm. The problem is the way he's going through stuff, and this is true of a lot of people with mental health problems, is sometimes you're going through mental health things and it's a struggle and you're feeling for the person. Sometimes someone's going through a mental health thing and the way that it's presenting itself is through being the most annoying person on the planet, and that's what Antonio Brown is doing. He is just but I try to give him the benefit of the doubt that it's a mental
That sounds mighty controversial, and I would also say that
let's
turn this into a conversation about CTE, but nobody ever wants to.
Jess, it's too long a conversation.
I have a lot of feelings about football.
I know you do.
A lot of feelings.
I know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just
not the time.
It's just not going to let you get him out. I just hate to steal it because I feel like it's probably really good what you have to say.
You know it is.
I think it's really smart, interesting, but also been said probably 200 times, and everybody has the same response, which is the players are aware now. They are doing everything they can to prevent. You can't stop people's right to do things.
Yeah, but if they do, it oftentimes
people go spelunking.
No,
people are allowed to go climbing mountains.
It often impacts the people in
700
their homes.
documentaries on Netflix about these people climbing rocks. Nobody gives a shit.
Those are dangerous for the person who's choosing to do it. The football stuff, CTE, makes people more historically can make people more aggressive to the people that are in their lives and in their homes.
That is a stretch and a half.
It's not a stretch.
You're stretching.
I'm not saying it happens to every person, but it's who has CTE, but it is a symptom of CTE.
Certified yoga trainer.
Yeah. What of it?
Well, that means you can stretch. You're stretching. Now,
Oh my God. I'm not stretching. I'm not making a vast generalization. I'm saying that can be something that happens. And I think that that's
Yes, it
really,
can
really
be.
terrible. Okay, not a stretch. Thank you. Let's move on. Unless you want me to keep going.
Jess, I'd love for you to keep going.
It's fine.
Unfortunately, we have to go to break. We'll be right back. Oh, hey, during this break in the action, I have nothing else to say. I just want to give us a break in the action. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribing, rating. All right, let's go back. And we're back, Jess.
Yeah.
What an episode.
Really fun.
On this special week. What a way to kick it off.
Yeah.
What do
On
you
this Tuesday.
Very good. Really good, Jess.
We're really even closer to the wedding.
We really are.
Wow.
Jess.
Noah, come.
No, just come on through.
Come to the wedding. We literally have people who are like, we're coming, not this week.
Oh, we're.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried to run
Have a
a
wedding
wedding
with
with half the people are
Comedians.
and Hollywood actors, but it is. We have 75 people who are like, I'm pretty sure.
How late can we let you know whether or not we're coming? We're literally just like, at this point.
At this point, we just have a certain number. At this point, we have a certain number of meals coming out, and it's just filling seats because like we just don't know. And
Yeah.
last week we broke even.
Yes.
We had a come and a go. We had a
No. We had my friend who couldn't come because her mom is sick, and then the other one.
right, and then we had my yes.
Right.
So we're down
but
one.
then we might have the other yes that we've been waiting to hear on.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're breaking even right now.
So far,
But that's what I
we've
mean.
broken even.
It's that amount of swapping. It is chaos out there.
Yeah.
It's
Come.
chaos putting together. So Noah, come or don't. We don't know what's going to happen.
If you need a seat filler,
Yeah.
text away. All right.
It's gonna be a good time.
It should be. I think
Hope
it's gonna
so.
be, I think it's going to be really fun.
Our vows are done. We wrote them.
Vows are done. Vows are approved.
They are approved. We have our official.
I think I'm and
vetting them.
I'm excited for you both.
I feel
It's
like a
gonna
lot
be
of
so
people
lovely.
doubted my getting vows done ahead of time. And I did. I feel like a lot of people have made snide remarks at me about when I was going to write my vows, particularly with the special. Yeah.
Oh well.
I think
the
a lot of
special,
guys tend to write it like day before, day of, which I think is perfectly fine. I understand why people do that because it is, I will say, a very overwhelming task to write. But I got ahead of it.
Not me. I was up one night at 3 a.m. and I just did it.
Doesn't sound like you were the most focused. I feel like we should.
I was really focused.
Really take some time.
And then I did, and then I edited them. But I was like, oh, it really came to me in the middle of the night. Well, you'll get to see in just a few short days.
Just a few short days. Is there anything else you'd like to plug, Jess? Other than our wedding?
You can watch the movie I worked on called Spin
Oh.
on Disney Plus.
Let's go.
Currently, also Secret Society of Second Born Royals is on Disney Plus, but Spin is really the one. It's like really fun. I
What's
really
Secret
worked on
Society
that a
Second
lot.
Born Royals, featuring former podcast guest,
Yeah.
current, very, 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 very dear friend of mine, Skylar Aston.
And
Who crushed the Tonys last night, by the way?
yes, so good, so great. No, this is just me, who I am. I work in development, so you won't know anything that I can plug for another 2 years, probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
First, you got to destroy those writers' dreams. Noah, do you have
Danny,
anything,
you're horrible.
know anything you'd like to plug?
Just follow me on my socials at Noah Kopfer on Instagram.
Ooh, I have an Instagram.
Go ahead, Jess. Usually we let the other person
Sorry,
finish their
Noah, go
plug.
ahead. Go ahead, Noah. Go
no,
ahead.
it's okay. My plug is now Jess's Instagram. Jess, what's your Instagram?
No, follow Noah. What was it? What's your
At Noah Kopfer on Instagram, and then at Noah Kopfer Comedy on TikTok.
Ooh, TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. My Instagram is at Jess Sonne, JESSONNE. But will I be changing my handle now that my last name is going to change? Ooh. I don't know.
Wow, something to really think about.
I'm going to consider it.
For me, I have next week. I will be back to posting dates because I have dates, and I'll start annoying people with those. But for right now, I'm still fresh off the special, and I'm just
And
happy to
getting
be here.
married.
And I do want to say one more time, 10K subscribers on YouTube. That's nothing to sneeze
Yay.
at. Big deal. Big deal. Forgot to even post about the Scott episode. Like, formally post. We got a ton of views.
Sorry.
People are starting to really like the YouTube. I'm very happy about it.
Good.
And Jess...
Yeah.
I know. Well, people say.
Phew.
Thank
I will say this. I will say this. Every single person who like heard the like YouTube podcasting, they were like, great, you're gonna love it. They were like, it is a slow build, and those first couple weeks were slow.
Not that I'm on now. You're gonna just rise to the top.
It'll be a good photo. And now we go.
I'm just kidding, obviously.
Now we go to how we close every show. Mm-hmm. It's time for 3 shots at glory.
Yes, that's right. Okay, I'm ready.
Now the question is Noah ready?
Okay.
Well, so this camera shut off.
Great.
Love that. But here's what we can
When did it happen?
just now.
Okay.
Which is so fine, and the best part is I can just do this,
Great.
and then I can use my phone.
Is that a camcorder?
That is.
Just watch you.
Okay, but doesn't it look like one?
So while he sets up, Jess, I'll walk you through the rules. You get 3 shots at the
Okay.
hoop. The only person to hit so far is Jessica Michelle Singleton. Have to make her headshot go up on the wall.
Why don't you just take Polaroids of people when they get it and they can go up on the wall?
Where are Polaroids?
We have a Polaroid camera downstairs with film.
Mel, what can you do?
It's because I know all these things.
3 shots, Jess.
Okay. Oh no. Okay.
It's exciting for the listeners. I will now.
Can I put this here?
Yes, you can. This is where I really take over as narration. She's sitting cross-legged, which is an interesting choice. Not gonna have a ton of power
I
underneath it.
always sit pretzel style.
But she knows what she's doing, pretzel style. She lines it up.
Damn.
A lot of things to like there, though.
Okay.
First shot short by a solid amount. Quick shot.
Oh, damn.
Quick shot for shot number 2. All right, I'm gonna go get it. This is where the drama really picks up, and for the listeners, this is when it gets thrilling. She has one final shot.
Okay, but can I do another one just because?
No,
Okay.
I mean you can, but it won't count. This is it, final shot. She lines it up. She looks good.
Damn.
A lot of things to like, though. It hit Harper in the face.
Okay,
if
wait.
nothing
Let's
else.
just try one more. Oh, that was close. It was close. It was close.
See you next week.
You're a #1 fan, so you know the stats. Heard all the pundits talking, so you know enough of that. Maybe it's time to hear some crazy folks chat about all the other stuff that's behind the net. But maybe you don't care about playing ball, and you want to hear the gossip whether big or small. Maybe it's time to hear some funny folks talk about what goes on when the batter don't walk. Maybe you'd like to hear a little more. Maybe you don't even care about sports. Either way, go on and buckle up your shorts. Cause this is everything but the scores with Danny Jollis. Yeah, doggity.